Joining me today is one of the finest actors of this generation, best known for her role in the film Masaan. But as we'll find out, there is so much more to Shweta Tripathi. Thank you very much, Shweta, for joining me here.
And, Thank you so much for inviting me.
And as I said, I think you've had a great start. Of course, you've got many, many, many years to go, and I hope you keep entertaining us and the rest of this country and the world with your great performances.
I will, yes.
I'm going to start with a question which has nothing to do with films, and that is, how's your scuba diving going?
Oh, I am just planning, in fact, that whether if I should make a New Year trip out of it or go in Jan, Feb. But I definitely want to do my advanced. So hopefully that
Since
trip
we
should
last
happen
spoke,
very
that's
soon.
continued to be on your agenda.
So I did skydiving. I need to do surfing again and scuba diving. So I need to make lots of money for that because, yeah, scuba diving is an expensive hobby to have.
What was the reaction of your parents when you decided to pursue this field? Were they okay with it? Was there a sense of resistance? Was it that we feel you could do something else?
So they were definitely very surprised. When I started with Mast Hai Life on Disney Channel. My parents thought because it's Disney, it would be a voiceover thing. So they were very happy that, oh, very good, theek hai, voiceover, you know, very nice. They were very encouraging. And then I think it struck that, oh, so you will be on television. I was like, yeah, and I was very excited because I would be acting. Again, at that point, whatever I was making, I'm sure I was getting 3 times that amount. So I was very excited because I'll be doing what I love. Also because I'll be getting paid for it. So life was good. So they were initially a bit surprised, but they never gave me any negative feedback or did not show any apprehension towards that. So they were very, very supportive.
You've done a lot with your life. You've been academically very bright. You've done your schooling and you've done NIFT and you've worked as a photographer with a leading magazine. Are you constantly looking for new challenges? Is that perhaps one of the reasons that you came into this field? Because here every movie in that sense is a completely separate canvas, isn't it?
Acting is something that I always wanted to do. It sounds like a cliche, but ever since I was in school and then later in college, I went to NIFT. So it is very different from what I study, what I'm doing now. Being in front of the camera just makes me so happy. It's therapeutic for me. In fact, every day when I'm not shooting, I'm wondering why am I not shooting, because this is what I feel I'm born to do. But there is just so much more to learn, and I think as an artist you have to keep exploring, because that's my complaint with a lot of Indian actors, that we do not explore in languages or even hairstyles. Now that trend thankfully is changed and you know people are experimenting with their looks. So I think if you don't travel, if you don't grow, what you have to offer will be very limited, which is why I do surfing, scuba diving, skydiving, love traveling. In the middle I was doing a project for Teach for India. Because I think the more you learn, the more you can give. And there is just so much to do in the world.
You had a good childhood. You went to one of India's finest schools. Your father was a bureaucrat. You were in Delhi for a better part. I think you were in Andamans for 3 years, but by and large you were in Delhi.
True.
Right? So how was it growing up in the kind of environment that you grew up in?
My dad's an IAS officer. Mom was a teacher. She's retired now. So we had a very modest upbringing. I remember we used to grow up when there were only coolers in the house. And we used to be like, "Arey Papa, why don't we have ACs?" And you know, so I am happy about the upbringing we had, because culturally it was very strong. And that time, buying a birthday gift also, like we had to discuss those things with parents. Pocket money, eating from the school canteen, 5 rupees for a patty or a burger. So I have valued money a lot, because it wasn't just thrown at us. We weren't given a lot of it. And I'm grateful for that. We used to participate in a lot of school and college competitions, design competitions, acting. And then through that is when we started earning. Then I used to work for the college magazine. I was a photographer back then. So I have been a saver most of my life. It started like that, and I think it will be like that. If I earn, I save a huge chunk from it.
Because how much in percentage terms do you end up saving?
I think
20 to 30%?
Oh no, more. Like
really?
At least 60%.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So how do you manage that? Is that because you keep your wants limited and focus on your needs? How do you manage such a high saving rate?
So what happens is, because I'm an actor, I'm a freelancer. So I don't know where my next paycheck is coming from, because I love traveling. I have hobbies which I don't want it to stop because I don't have the money. So if I do an ad, and obviously ads pay much more than the independent cinema that us actors do. So I will take out only what I need to, which is obviously the household kharchas, and when I go to Delhi, so travel tickets and just the very basic things. And thankfully I do not splurge. I'm not a big shopper. Actually, my main expense is travel. It all goes in that. So those kharchas happen once in 3 months or once in 6 months. So otherwise, I just save. But at the same time, I'm emphasizing a lot on saving, but I think it's very important to live as well. If you want to go out for dinners or meet friends or do a
And do you manage to do enough of
Yes,
that? You
yes,
don't
for sure.
scrounge on that.
No.
You live your life, you do what you want to, but what you're saying is you're just careful about not going overboard in whatever you do.
Correct. There are days where I think that I don't know where my next paycheck is coming from, so maybe I should not enjoy that much because I don't deserve that. But then I think that I'm just too harsh on myself. So you have to let go, because if you stop enjoying, then you become a miser.
What's the point of making the money or earning the money, right?
Correct.
And where did you learn this from? Was it your mother or was it your father? Because typically in the kind of background you're from, and partly similar background, the fathers were serving the country, serving and doing their public service, and it was really left to the mothers to actually be able to keep the money aspect of the house in control. Is it her influence largely?
I think from both of them, because the very basic thing of even not eating your meal at home when it's cooked for you and wasting that food and money. So you're born with that upbringing. So you learn to value each and every penny that you make. And not only you make, it's not about that if somebody is spending a lot, then let's just be a leech and take all their money. No, I just respect money that anybody and everyone earns. So, and I think only if you respect money will you get money. Also, money saved is money earned. These are the philosophies that I like to go by.
You should be sitting here because you're sounding like one real money guru, and I'm really happy to hear that you're so sorted. So you got 10 on 10 as far as your saving is concerned. What about your investing? How do you invest? Do you have an advisor who helps you? Do you research something on your own? I'm sure you have punishing schedules, and then maybe in between you get some time, but then that's for your travel, which is great.
That is true.
So do you get time or the bandwidth to really research a bit, find out a bit about where you're investing?
I think the biggest support that a girl gets, I'm sure guys also get it, but we are two sisters, is the father. Because you always, when it's the matters of the money, when it's about saving, you always go up to him and ask him that where should I invest, because he's your hero. It started with that. My first job was with Times of India, so that time I got to know about SIPs. Out of all the plans, that really excited me. Also because I knew that I'm making only 20,000, so maybe SIP is something that I can work around it, that I don't need to take out a huge chunk. So that suited me the most, so I did that. Then later on, when I started making more money, then I thought about FDs. Because since you're a child, you hear FD, fixed deposit. So that's again something that I knew that is something I wanted to do. I was very sure that I didn't want to put money into something that I don't understand. So you need to understand what you're getting into. That's why stocks is something I don't understand, and I'm fine with that. Till the time I learn about it and then maybe later invest in them. Investment right now, I think land is great if you can afford to buy any piece of land. That for me is something I always look forward to, that I want enough money, because then also you keep getting rent from it. So it's a great revenue system. Otherwise, FDs, definitely. Mutual funds, life insurance, these terms sound so familiar because we've grown up listening to them. So my money is distributed.
Has stardom changed you in any way?
Well, there are a lot of benefits that we actors get in a restaurant, and you get the most amazing service, which I never got before. But otherwise, I like to believe myself that I'm an artist. So whatever, I don't think of myself as a star or a celebrity. In fact, I was at the airport and there were these guys and they came up to me. They said, "You're a celebrity, no?" And I was like, "I'm an actor." I don't want to ever think that I'm that. I'm here actually, it sounds very modest, but to serve in a very artsy way. That is my job, and that is what I want to do. And I will be more than happy if I'm just traveling the world to different film festivals and making a mark over there. My job, my wish is that people across the globe should see my work and they should relate to the characters and the stories that I'm telling.
You've done pretty much the full circle, isn't it? You've done theatre, you've done ad films, you've done television serials, and now you've also done mainstream cinema. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? What's the kind of roles, what's the kind of a growth that you've set for yourself?
I want to do stories which are worth telling. I definitely don't want to play arm candy or a girl dancing in the foreground or background. I want to tell stories that make people think. make people feel, push a button somewhere and change them somehow. Maybe that's just a 0.5 percentage of how they change, but make them more emotional. And in the world we are living in, every story that we read, it's horrific what's happening in the world right now.
Stirs us up.
Yeah, somehow change that. I definitely see myself as a producer. I definitely want to make the kind of films that I believe in. I'm reading a lot of scripts these days and it's not exciting me at all as an artist. Yes, it's about the money because I want to be earning, I want to be financially independent, but at the same time I don't want to make a compromise on the quality. So I will wait for how many ever months it takes, and it is frustrating, it's not easy. But something needs to be done about the quality. I don't believe only in quantity.
I wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
May
Thank
you
you so
come across
much.
a lot of success in your life. Thank you.
Thank you.